Alright, this is Paul Robertson again. In this video I want to talk about the Patreon tiers and what the rewards are for those contributions that members sign up for, and also and end with how the funds would be used. And like any creative project, you have to find ways to fund that project, obviously. So what we've done here with the Multiverse project is to try to align the interest of the project with our authors. And even if you're a reader and you just want to be a part of this, we want to align everything where you are being rewarded well for what you're contributing. And so let's start off with the $5 a month contribution. This is our lowest tier, and basically it's for anyone who wants to be a community member. Also, if you just want to be a writer on the site, like while this project is in its infancy, um, to become an author on the site, we ask that you at least make one monthly contribution, which would be $5. But you do not have to continue to be a Patreon member, but that's how you would get access to sending me a message about setting up your account to do that. But once you have your account, you can post stories from now on. As the project matures and the platform is built where it can scale better, you won't have to do this at all. Like if you want to wait, you don't have to do this at all. You can just wait and you will be able to become an author for free. But when that will happen, at this time, we do not know. But if you become a community member for $5 a month, you will get access to this page, access to me on this page. You can message me basically. You will getting voting rights because the authors that we hire to write the story, we're going to allow them to present their ideas for the story to our Patreon community, and the community will be able to vote through a poll on this page. So if you are interested in being a part of the process for choosing the authors who write our stories, then you will get access to do that at the very lowest tier, which is the $5 a month tier. And then obviously, like I just said, this also is how you get early access to being an author on the site. Alright, so now let's go down to the $10 a month tier. There's only 4 tiers, so right now, as I record this, there's only 4. The $10 a month tier is for authors who want to feature their stories on the site. And so just to share with you what that means is that, and I'm not going to go into the full explanation of how the site works, but there is a feature section here with the genres that we have, and we're going to allow you to place your story on our featured page. And that way, your story is not going down a feed. It's set in place so that somebody just says, you know what are some really good stories in this genre? They go to the feature tab, they click on the feature tab, and let's see if I can just find one real quick. And there's your story right there. You know, you don't like this. This would not change unless somebody else became a member of the $10 tier. Now, ideally, we don't want more than 20 stories per category because we don't want to be too many stories there. But it would be a lot easier for people to find you. So for just $10 a month, you would get that as well. And so we move on now to the next tier, which is the $25 a month tier, which is a way for you to feature your world. Now, let me explain that. When a user signs up to the site, there are universes here that, when they sign up to the site, everyone has a home feed, right? This is when they log in, this is what they're going to see. This is where they're going to look for their stories first. And the stories that are coming down this feed are from the universes that they are following. And if you don't know what I'm talking about with that, let's go over here to universe 15 for an example. Every universe has a follow button here. And if a user follows your universe, let's say they found your story in a genre, they like the story, they want to get more from you, so they follow your universe. All the posts that you make will go down this home feed here. Alright? that your stories would go down their feed, and that's where they're going to discover most of their stories. Now, what this would do on the $25 a month tier is that we would have every user be auto followed, which means that as soon as they sign up, they're following your universe. They don't have to discover you through a genre. They're automatically following you. Now, I will warn you, they can't unfollow you. So you don't want to be writing 100 promotional posts and no stories. They're just going to unfollow you. They don't want to be spam like that. Most people do not. That's what's happening on Twitter a lot with a lot of authors when they're trying to promote their stories. They're just sending post after post after post, or tweet after tweet after tweet about buy my book, buy my book, buy my book, and most people don't like that. And so they can unfollow you, but they would automatically be following you, and that's every user that's signed up will be following you. Now, if you ever decide that you want to stop being a $25 a month contributor, what would happen is anyone that had followed you previously before you signed up would still be following you, but you would lose all those other followers because you're no longer on that tier, right? So if you had 7 followers already before you did that, they would still be following you, so you wouldn't lose them. But everyone else you would lose. So if you want to get your universe on every user's feed so that your stories are easier to find for the user, for the reader, then you can do that at the $25 a month tier. And then our final tier here is just for read authors or even publishers. If you have a publisher, if you're wanting to take advantage of the email list that we have from users signing up, from the collective efforts of everyone, we have an email autoresponder series where we have a sequence of emails that goes out to our readers. And what you can do is if you pay the $100 a month contribution, you can have a sponsored ad where you can write an email promoting your novels that you have, and it would be in that sequence from week 2 to week 16, I believe is what it is. So week 1, we're just going to send out promotional posts about stories because we're warming up our readers. We don't want to be sending them promotional sponsored ads right off the bat. But from week 2 on, like, we're going to send out 2 sponsored ads for novels a week for 15 weeks. And then after that, we're not going to send any more sponsored ads. And that way, if you want to take advantage of this, the first 30, I think that came out to about 30 authors, 30 slots, you can get a sponsored ad in that email follow sequence and directly promote your novels. And so those are the 4 tiers that we have here. Now, why are we doing those tiers and at those amounts? It's because we're trying to build the funds to hire authors and to pay them a really nice salary, what they deserve, right? So they either through an advance or just to flat out pay them to just ghostwrite, not ghostwrite, but they would get credit for the work, but basically to hire them. So maybe it might be $25,000 for them to spend the next 9 to 12 months of their life writing the story, just like a publisher would do. So that's kind of what the idea is. So I got here listed how the funds will be used. 1, we're going to have hosting. If you have a website and any significant traffic on it, you're going to have expenses that comes along with that, like hosting expenses and development. And so part of the money would be going towards that. As the site grows and as the community members grow in the Patreon, we're going to need to hire 1 or 2 staff members to be able to operate that. So that's part of where some of the money would go. But a large chunk of the money is going to go to these last 2, which is advertising, like Facebook ads, other media buys, basically bringing more readers onto the site, which grows the site, grows the reader base, and is where you're getting the benefit. Is as more of those people come on, you're getting access to those people when you write your stories. So a lot of your marketing and advertisement is going to come from this as well. And the fourth is, just as I said before, to pay authors to write the novels. And so, just as and the people who are going to vote on who's going to write the novels are everyone in the Patreon community, not like the Facebook fan page. So that is basically where the funds are going, why we're collecting the funds, why we have a Patreon community. As you know, there's a mobile app for Patreon, and you can message me here on Patreon. So if you do decide to join us today, say for the $5 a month contribution because you want to become an author on the site, sign up and then send me a message saying that you just signed up and that you want to become an author, and then I will respond and then come to the site and set your account up. You'll probably have to send me the email address that you signed up to the site with, and then we'll go from there. Don't worry, we'll figure it out and we'll work it out. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for coming to our Patreon page, for being a part of this project, and we hope that you have a lot of success and that you become a part of the community and make some new friends, get inspiration, and overall we all win at the end of the day, with more fans for our creative projects. All right, I will see you guys later.